What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 210 show. Boys, we ready to talk some topics, so some NFL and some UFC. But before we do that, let's do some introductions.
This is the Hater with Facts.
I'm Mr. Raider.
He's great. It's Tony.
Tony what takes.
All
Tony
right.
what takes. How y'all feeling, fellas? Good?
Feeling good, brother.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So listen, what do you who wants to take it first? What topic we going over first?
If you don't mind, we can continue with the series that we've been doing over here, reviewing the list of different position groups within the league.
Yeah,
And
let's do it.
this week we got the running backs. You know what I'm saying? The often disrespected position in all of football, in my personal opinion. But even though, we got some well-deserved contracts being doled out, right? So we're just gonna go straight to last 5 years of the top 5 running backs and the statistics of rushing yards, touchdowns, receptions, receiving yards, yards per carry, and total touchdowns. So,
Oh,
um, so the biggest thing I think from what I saw of the top 5 of all 3 years, it's very rare for someone to actually make the list more than 3 times. The only
yeah.
one that actually has been top 5 in rushing yards for at least 3 years in a row has been Derrick Henry, which is why
Oh,
he
dude. I was gonna say, let me
Mm,
guess, and that's what I was gonna
Oh, my
get.
bad.
yeah.
Gosh darn it.
What what about
That's all
Saquon
good.
Barkley? Where does he rank? Where does is he
So,
close? Like who's second?
Saquon, not 3 consecutive years. So
Oh,
he
same thing with McCaffrey because of injuries, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's the big thing about it because, of course, the running back position is probably the most injury prone, right? So that's why you get such a diverse list, right? So so based on that, if you want to consider somebody elite, you're looking at least 1,400 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, 70 receptions, 500 receiving yards, a yards per carry average of 5.2. Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, I know,
That's a
right?
lot.
Yeah.
That's and I know you want to make your point, but that surprises
Yep.
me because there's just the NFL today. I know it's getting a little different, but man, that's crazy because there's not a lot of bell cows, like especially over the last like 10 years. I know the last 2 years you can say that's kind of changing, which is also surprising. And I have a theory behind that, but all right, that surprises me. But
I would
go ahead,
think
Hayden.
Bijan would probably be the closest thing to a bell cow now, you know?
Oh gosh, yeah. He's
I
gonna
Well,
think
yeah.
be number one on
yeah,
this list.
yeah,
Yeah.
he had
In
a
my
lot
in my
of
opinion.
touches over the last 2 years, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he finally,
We'll talk about
his
him, I'm
first.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, and as far as total touchdowns go, if you wanna be considered elite, you need at least 14. So,
Damn.
yeah. So
Goodness
it's
gracious.
yeah. So it's funny, right? Like, you gotta just based on this, it seems pretty pretty high bar, right? But they don't get
Yeah.
as much money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
That's a we can have a long conversation about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So
But some running backs got their bag though during
yes,
this
they did.
offseason.
Yes, they did.
They
That was a
did,
good sign.
Raider, they did.
Yeah, they raised the bar, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of a collaboration between Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs of Atlanta Falcons and Detroit Lions, respectively.
That's what they had
Um,
to do.
yeah, yeah. I think they learned their lesson, or they took, the lesson from, I think it was, like, Jonathan Taylor and Saquon, and there was another running back that was, like, really, really raising the alarm
Jacobs.
of, like. Yes, Josh
Jacobs.
Jacobs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like, a couple years ago, they were like, "Yo, this is not cool," about how the owners are just mistreating the running back position and stuff
It
like that.
the
So
running back commission.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So yeah, so it seemed like, they either themselves or their agents, they decided to collaborate together, and it's like, "Hey, we're not gonna sign, you know, we're not gonna jump ahead or anything like that. We're gonna try to break the market. We're gonna set the mark, and then whoever gets there first, I'm gonna leap you just a little bit, and that's how we're gonna roll with it, where both sides are happy." So, but what I found most surprising though is they decide to forego a longer term of a deal. Like their extensions were only 3 years for both of them,
It's
which
not
I found was
surprising. It
pretty.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes sense. More opportunities to get it back.
right, right. So, but then it's like, okay, it's going to be pretty interesting that next negotiating period because of the amount of touches they'll have at that point, and
Like,
if they use it, if the owners try to use that as a leverage point, it's like, oh yeah, you're at this point. If we try to like put you at put you at what do you call it, market setting, a market setting contract or something like that, will it bite us in the butt? You know what I mean?
But I think this is a good trade-off. I think we're gonna pay you a little bit more than running backs have been paid, but it's gonna be a short-term contract because
yeah,
that's the way it works. And they're probably like, okay, knowing that that owner knows he's not re-signing that player probably because they're gonna use how many touches is Bijan gonna have over the next 3 or 4 years?
yeah.
Like
It's
a
good point.
whole shit ton.
Yep.
His next contract is not gonna be as big as this one. It's just not. This is just the nature of running back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
that's a
I
good
think it's a
point.
good trade-off. He got more money than any running back ever.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well
Well,
deserved too. Well deserved too.
sure,
I was gonna
yeah,
say,
absolutely. But I think it's smart. I think they're finally getting smart. It's like, all right, let's front load this damn thing, and knowing that in 2 years he could be a bum. And I don't think that, but it's just the way the running back
Yeah.
position works.
yeah. But well, he was he was the highest paid running back for about 2 days,
2 days,
and then,
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry,
yeah, and then
I
Bijan
correct.
Yeah.
and then not Bijan, but, Jahmyr Gibbs got his, which is only like
Yeah.
0.25 million more than Bijan, but okay,
Oh, I thought it was a
right?
500,000 more. My bad.
500,000, 0.25.
A lot of fucking money or a lot of money either way.
Yeah.
Dang,
Either
first
way it
edit
goes,
already. Jeez.
A lot of money for us, not a wide receiver. He's over there sitting like, damn, you're the best
uh,
running back in the game, and you got that.
and that's the funny part, right? Because the first thing that they pointed out was after Bijan's deal, and then after Jameer's deal, right in between that was Zay Flowers. And so basically the mark of the best running back in the game getting paid as the top running back is equal to that of the caliber of Zay Flowers.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
It's like,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that just this lets you know like the where the dichotomy is, right? That's kind of interesting, right?
I will say I think Zay Flowers is underrated, but your point is valid, haters.
Yeah, I'd put him in there with Wilson.
What? Garrett Wilson?
Yeah. The Jets, both underrated.
I, mm, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is I would put him as underrated, but I think Garrett Wilson. I think people know how good he is. They just know what situation that he's in, and it's like if he was anywhere else, he would be easily top 3, top 5, easy. You
Maybe,
know,
maybe overlooked probably would be the better word.
overlooked. Yeah, that's a good way to put that. Yes. So with that said, let's get to the list. So like we did the previous weeks, we looked at ESPN's survey of NFL execs, coaches, and scouts, and how they viewed the top 10 running backs going into 2026. Okay. So since it's just the three of us, I'm just going to run through the entire list 10 to 1. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So number 10. Oh, wait. Before I do that, the honorable mention. The honorable mention was Quinshawn Judkins, Kyron Williams, and Josh Jacobs.
What, honorable mention, meaning they didn't make the list, the top
They
10?
did, right. They did not make the top 10, but they were,
Kyron
but
Williams.
yep. Kyron Williams, Quinshawn
I
Judkins,
love
and
it.
Josh Jacobs.
Okay. All right.
I love it. I
Yeah.
man, maybe this list is finally like a good list.
Yeah. Right. So
All right.
yeah, I was looking forward to just get upset, but I couldn't, right? So, all right. So here's the list. So number 10, Brees Hall. Number 9, Kenneth Walker. Number 8, Devon Achan. Number 7, James Cook. Number 6, Derrick Henry. Number 5, Jonathan Taylor. Number 4, Christian McCaffrey. Number 3, Saquon Barkley. Number 2, Jahmyr Gibbs. And number 1, Bijan Robinson.
And let's dissect
I-
the bottom 10 or top. Let's dissect the bottom 5 first.
Okay.
yeah, I just
Right?
have one
Because
issue.
it's a lot. Like, we got a lot. That's a lot to
Yeah.
digest.
That's a lot to chew, right? Okay. So just to review again, 10-6. 10 was Brees Hall. 9 was Kenneth Walker. 8 was Devon Achane. 7 was James Cook. And 6 was Derrick Henry.
Okay, I have issues with 7 through 10, but I'll wait to
Okay.
speak my piece.
Okay. Go
Uh,
ahead, Tony. Thanks. I'll let you go first.
okay. Look, it's not a bad list. Are we projecting, or are we just saying who's the best running back? So I'm always like,
It's,
what do I go off of
it's going into 2026.
for production?
Yep.
All right. Well, see, then I would take Kyron and put him over somebody just because of the team. Now, Brees Hall is a top 6 running back, like, in my opinion, just based off of how good he is. I would take him over James Cook even in a vacuum, but, like, production wise, I don't know, man. That's tough. I will say I can't really nitpick that much though.
Yeah.
You
I
know, so I want to hear what Raider has to say, because
yeah.
it's hard to nitpick too much when you're taking into account their production going into next year. So the only thing I would say is production going into next year. I understand that Blake Corum's a problem for Kyron Williams, but Kyron Williams in a vacuum is not a very athletic person. He's not. He's crafty running back, but I mean he's kind of just a guy in a really 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 good situation.
No.
Yeah.
And, like, but I would probably put him in the top 10 just based off the fact that he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah.
I just real quick, Mr. Raider, before you go. I think I'm right there with you. Like as far as Brees Hall, I don't know, man. I like going into 26. If that is the backdrop that we're
Oh,
using here. I just
oh,
personally think,
but there's one big thing. There's no
so,
mention of Chase Brown.
no.
What,
Um, he
dude?
yeah. Looking on here, he got some votes, but yeah.
Dude.
I look.
All right, that's a problem.
Well, I think this is where we probably would go head up on this one because I just feel like Chase Brown is not. I feel like he's just a dude, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, I feel like he got a lot of expectation last year
Come on.
because everybody thought because he was on a high powered offense that he could easily eat, especially when you got T Higgins and Jamar Chase. You should be able to really do a lot, and I feel like he underperformed. So I don't know. I feel jaded by him, to be honest, because I banked on him a lot, from a fantasy perspective, and it did not work. So I might be a little bit biased, but I feel like I don't know. I'll be very interested to see, especially going to I think his contract's up next year. I'm very interested to see like where will he stack up, amongst all the other running backs as far as terms of money because I don't see anything that he does special.
Oh my god.
Nothing.
Well, look. We know he's athletic. He's fast. He's athletic. He's actually pretty big too. And being on that Bengals offense is awesome. Of course, Joe Burrow got hurt again last year, and he was underwhelming. But at the end of the year, he was like beastly again, and because we've seen that from him in the past.
Maybe
And
that's
there's
it.
nothing that the Bengals did in the offseason to make you think that wasn't going to continue into. We got a healthy Burrow, and the whole team's healthy now. I don't know. I just really really like the guy. I think not mentioning him is crazy. He could be top 5 on this list after next year. I know that sounds nuts, but I think he's that good. He's a really good receiver out of the backfield. And if we're just
Yeah.
talking production, I want exposure to that offense.
Yeah, it's tempting, right? And it's like I'm thinking about like how did he perform when Joe Burrow was gone, you know? And it's like he didn't really, put on a Superman cape and saved everybody.
Well,
You know,
Flacco threw to Jamar Chase 72 times a game. So,
yes.
like
Yeah,
that's all
Right.
they did.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
I
So
know Mr. Raider has got a lot of
All
takes
right.
here.
So
yeah, yeah.
so let me just preface this. I have So yeah, okay. So from 7 through 10 on that list, look, those are quality players. I'm not gonna all over them, but if we're talking about production. Let me just throw some facts out there that would kind of maybe might change y'all's perception a little bit. So
Okay.
let me just say this. I think that Chase Brown and Kyron Williams should be elevated into 7 through 10. Wherever you want to put them, as long as they're there, that's all that matters to me. Now, why do I say that? Okay, so I'm going to look at this from a fantasy PPR look and have the numbers to prove it. And also fair full disclosure, I have both of these guys on my fantasy football team. Full disclosure for the audience. So check this out.
Bias
So,
alert.
so so Kyron Williams, like last year, right, in PPR, he finished as RB9. And last season he had 1,252 rushing yards, 281 receiving yards, and 13 total touchdowns. Now, according to your metrics that you were just stating earlier, Hater with Facts, that's pretty freaking close, right? As far as the numbers go.
Okay,
So,
what say that one more time? He had
yeah,
what?
he had 1,252 rushing yards,
Okay,
281 receiving yards, and 13 total touchdowns.
okay. So,
Did
oh, total
Brees
touch
Hall have that
okay.
last year?
Absolutely not. No,
No. He has yet to do it.
absolutely not.
He's been injured. No, and I agree with you, Tony, with takes. Like, I think I would put him before James Cook too, given if he's healthy and he's ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? So
Just pure
I just want to
talent
push.
wise, like I'm not saying he's
Yeah,
going to outproduce any of those guys. Yeah.
yeah. So my focus is on okay, what did they actually do with their stats, right? So right now, right? So Kyron Williams, right now, according to PPR, he finished RB9 in the PPR last season. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what makes this interesting, though, and you kind of alluded to it, Tony with Tex, is that yeah, Blake Corum is cutting into his carries, but if you look what he's doing with the carries that he's getting or the touches that he's getting, his contribution, what do you call that? The contribution yards per touch or something like that is
Mhm.
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's just a side interesting fact. I don't, a statistic fact that you can just pull out your ass and be like, hey, look at this, But the raw numbers, though, the 1,252 rushing yards, 281 receiving yards, and the 13 total touchdowns, in my mind, makes him at least RB9 in my mind. So before I get to Chase Brown, what do y'all think about that?
I don't disagree with Kyron Williams. Like, I don't have an issue with him. Like I said, my biggest grief is with the perception of Chase Brown, not necessarily Kyron Williams. I think Kyron Williams, for the most part, like the fact that he's been durable, which has been a surprise, um,
Yeah.
and the fact, you know what I mean, like that's what really surprised me about him. And then the fact that he's able to be, you know, a darling for Sean McVay's offense says a lot. And I don't have a problem. I really don't disagree. Like, if you were to swap him out with Brees Hall, I had no problem with that. I would absolutely agree with that.
That's why I was saying, like, this list is a little disrespectful to Kyron Williams. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was basically 11, right? So it's not that disrespectful, but because I get it.
Yes.
He is the least talented player on that entire list, and that is not up for argument. That is objectively, he is not very talented. He's just in the greatest position ever, and he has Sean McVay who will just give him all the touches. And nobody
If
can, you can never convince me that he's a good running back. Okay, he's a good running back. He's not a great one. Brees Hall is a great running back. Brees Hall on the Rams. Jesus Christ. He would be the 101 in fantasy drafts every single
gotta
year.
stay healthy, though. Gotta stay
yeah.
healthy.
No, I'm
Kyron
just saying.
Williams has
I'm just
played more
saying.
games. But yeah, I agree with you.
Like,
Um,
it's
So
not even close. It's really not close.
so can
so this is
I was gonna say, can I read the quote that they actually have for Kyron Williams? That
yeah,
might help.
sure,
That might help,
sure.
right? So they said, so this is a anonymous NFL coordinator. He says, quote, really underrated, productive, tough as runs hard, brings the juice, has improved as a pass catcher, and really good in protection. Just doesn't have the high end traits of some of the others, which I think fully crystallizes what Tony Takes has already said about
Yeah,
him.
and that's a fair assessment. I don't disagree with
It's like
Tony
a
takes
James
all of that
Conner,
quote.
right? Like
Yeah,
overperforms his
Yeah.
abilities, kind of.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I
okay.
agree.
Here's another interesting fact. I looked this up. So, like his ADP for the audience, average draft position right now on Fantasy Pros is RB12, But if you look at the wide ranging, he goes from RB7 to RB18. So, I guess it kind of fits, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's my bit on Kyron Williams. Now let me move to Chase Brown. Now this one's interesting. Okay, and this is going to kind of surprise you. So Brown, he finished RB8 in PPR in 2025. He produced 1,019 rushing yards, 437 receiving yards on 69 receptions and 11 total TDs. So he had double-digit TDs, 1,000 yards, and almost 500 receiving yards. And 69 receptions is a lot of receptions for a running back, right?
It is.
So that means that he is a key piece of that Cincinnati offense. Now, what's interesting though, and here's where I rank him too. I rank him anywhere from RB8 to RB10, right? But I think the catches that he makes, I think his ability to also run the rock, it's good, man. It's good. Like they're both. You can interchange Kyron Williams and Chase Brown, obviously, if they're 8 and 9 respectively in PPR. So I think that's another guy who's being slept on that's undervalued, but might not be a top end tier talent like some of these other guys. Do you agree with that?
I don't.
You already know I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
See,
let's hear what Hater has to say.
okay, so I think the thing about Chase Brown, and I'll be very surprised what the audience would put as a comment when we release this. The thing about Chase Brown for me is his inconsistency. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at his game log from last year. And just from a rushing yardage perspective, he's had games where he's had three rushing yards on 10 carries. He had 23 rushing yards on 12 carries.
That
42
happens
rushing
though.
yards on 9 carries, 27 rushing yards on 8 carries. So,
That
he
happens.
does
He
have
didn't get
some.
a lot of touch. He didn't get a lot of touches, bro, and he still go over 1,000 yards. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but especially from a fantasy perspective, like, those are some dud weeks,
It
man.
hurts.
You know
It
what I'm
hurts.
saying? And it's like,
Yeah, it
unless you
hurts.
got a touchdown,
But he
right?
might have those might be his numbers for rushing, but I think so. You can check me on this, but last season I think he ranked fourth amongst RBs in targets. I think he
He
ranked
did.
fourth.
Yes, he had 88. Yes.
Look at his last 6 weeks though. And then I got a
So,
lot of takes
yeah.
on Brown.
Go
So,
ahead.
yes. So, those games where he had now the last 6 weeks, yes, you're right. So, he had no less. Well, one game he did have 23, but as far as rushing yards, he had no less than 53, and then the most he had was 101. But he had, I think, in that span, he had 4 touchdowns rushing and another 3 touchdowns receiving. So, that's where a lot of his fantasy points came in. Now, that probably helped win some championships, you know what I mean? Because he finally broke it open. But my counterpoint would be, like, how long did you have to wait? And how many, less than, especially like if you're talking about like a non-PPR format, like how many less than 10 points did you have, you know what I'm saying, by starting him in your
Well,
lineup that,
yeah.
that you had to endure before you can get to the
Let me
playoffs,
just say this though, real quick, Tony. Takes forgetting. So I hear you when you're talking about the scoring itself, but if you just focus on the production, right? He outproduced James Cook, who's number what 6, 7,
Uh,
6?
yeah, I can pull him up real quick.
I think he's like 6 on that list, right? And so
He
both of those
is,
guys did.
uh, let's see, James Cook is 7. He's 7 on the
Yeah,
list.
yeah. He outproduced him. Now James Cook is definitely, I would say, way more talented, but the numbers are the numbers, man. All right, Tony.
But
Tony takes my
oh,
bad.
yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Okay, this is all I'm saying. All your points, Hater, are valid, right? He had a weird year, and fantasy owners were, and I don't always want to make it about fantasy, but that's kind of what
Yeah.
we do. So even from a production standpoint, and fantasy owners were disappointed from the beginning of the year. But we know Burrow got hurt. We know the offensive line was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I just believe in his talent, and we are also projecting for next year, not last year. So
Correct.
I'm
True.
looking ahead, and I'm saying everything is better. And what did they not do in the offseason? They didn't bring any competition. They're like
No,
basically told me Chase is our guy. Now I know one thing. He is athletic and he's fast. And I like that. And he's a good receiver out of the backfield. So give me that all day on an offense like that. where you really don't even all you have is 2 receivers and a running back. You don't have a third receiver of consequence. You don't have any tight end of consequence.
True.
It's like give me all the Chase this offseason. Like I think, like I said earlier, he's top 5 for me. Only because we're just talking about next year. Although I do think he's a really talented running back as well.
True.
But I'm
True.
saying if we're just talking about production next year, I'm putting him in my top 5.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase on that team, he still ended up with 69 receptions last year.
Mhm.
So do you see
Because what
them
I'm
taking
saying,
a
he's the
major
third
drop-off?
receiver. He's basically
Right,
a third receiver, bro.
that's what I'm saying. So do you see that being a major drop-off going into this season, or is it going to stay roughly the same?
Hell no. I would even not, wouldn't you be surprised if it's higher?
I
Why
would
not?
guess I'll be very interested in looking at what his targets were in games where T. Higgins didn't play, because I know he got hurt last year too, and I would
Yeah.
and, I think
Well,
that's
that's
where he
true.
was like the emergency valve for him, but the only counterpoint that I would make, Mr. Raider, on what you said about James Cook specifically, like, James Cook, he's getting the ball. Like, as far as wide receivers go for Buffalo, they don't have anybody, right?
Nah. Yeah.
They knew he was coming, and he exploded, and he had 1,600 yards last year. Like, it was crazy. Like, he didn't have the type of dud games like Chase Brown did, from a game to game perspective. And so I would trust James Cook a little bit more than I do Chase Brown, given the situations that both of them are in. That's all.
Well, let's also keep in mind too,
That's
James Cook's been
understandable.
along for a while too, and Chase Brown has been pretty consistent. He's just a solid player who shows up. But I'd be interested to see with the total yardage or say like the total numbers, who is coming out ahead. Is it James Cook or if it's Chase Brown?
You said
Be
for
interest-
total yards?
Yeah, total
Uh,
everything.
from 25?
Dude, Cook had
Yeah,
a monster year.
Yeah. It's not even close. Like, it's,
yeah, I didn't think so.
total yardage for James Cook was about, let's see, I'm just looking just straight off the dome. Man, he was down near 2,000 yards, bro. He had,
Wow. Okay.
16
I
Yeah, he
stand
had
corrected.
16, 21 rushing, 291 receiving. Now, Chase Brown did have more receiving yards than him, but even in total, even his combined yardage doesn't even equal what James Cook had rushing. So,
Yeah.
eh,
Okay.
You know what's beautiful? In fantasy drafts, you can have both of them because James Cook going at the end of the first and Chase
yep,
Brown's going at the beginning of the
Yeah.
second.
yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yep,
Yeah,
you really
Give me
can.
so I
all
guess
that.
I stand corrected on James Cook, but I would still include Chase Brown in the bot from 7 to 10 at least, but
Fair
wherever.
Dude,
enough.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll say this: if I were to, if we're gonna nitpick, which I think what we're doing, but especially for Kyron Williams and I would say Chase Brown or even Quinshaw Judkins to some degree. I would say that the the top 7 that are here, Achane, unfortunately, Brees Hall, and even to some degree Kenneth Walker. I don't know, man. I
You
don't
know
know
what's
about those 3.
Let's be
you know
real.
what's
Kenneth
surprising?
Walker's on the list because he's a Chief now.
Yes.
Yeah. But you
You
know what's
know, like,
surprising? No mention of Genty whatsoever.
No.
oh,
None.
dude, I was gonna say the elephant in the room is Genty, my man. Like,
Yeah.
dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like, a no
Yeah.
honorable mention? That's crazy.
But
No.
Brees Hall
You get
gets mentioned? Come on, man.
Yeah.
well, because he's really, really talented. But yes, I think you should. I'm glad you mentioned it, Mr. Eric, because I was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it
Um,
away, brother.
but I
I
will.
think he's gonna have a good year, but again, we shored up that offensive line, so I
Yes,
think
that's gonna be huge.
I would want to be on wax. I would be willing to say that he's going to have double the amount of rushing yards this year than he did last year. I'd
Who,
say
Genty?
double. Yeah.
If we're talking production, I'll take him over. I'll take him over Walker. Even I'll take him over Brees. So
Uh,
he should definitely be on
Yeah.
that list for me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely.
I don't know, Raider. What do you think?
Okay, you
I
said
agree, sir.
double his production. Now, he had 975 yards last year. Now,
Okay.
even that's a miracle. Given,
Yeah.
How
like,
many receptions did he have?
receptions, he had 55.
Pretty nice
Yeah,
on a ass team who
yeah,
everybody.
Pretty
Brock
nice.
Bowers is hurt
yeah,
half the year. I understand that.
Yeah.
That's why he may have more receptions, but everybody knew where the ball was going, you know?
Yeah,
I think he's a shoe-in. I think he's a shoe-in for 1,200 yards easy,
yeah, I
and I
agree.
would say probably another
Yep.
I'll say 425, like, receiving. Or
Yep.
So I would
probably
say
more than
go ahead.
I was gonna say probably even more than that because it's like, we kinda touched on that last week, like, you don't have a number 1 option on the outside of receiving, right? So,
Oh,
like, he could probably get to 500 receiving yards, honestly.
yeah, so I
He
see
should be on this list, man.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But I would think probably at the top end, maybe 1,500 yards. That's what I say rushing, and then yeah, about 500 to 600 yards receiving. Because if Mendoza's
Right.
going to play, he's going. The safety thing is if your tight end's not open, your check down is, and that's usually the running back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely see him being in the top 10 or top 7 running backs next year by the end of next year.
So on a crappy team, he got 1,300 scrimmage yards. So
That's crazy.
I would say I think it would be fair to him to improve I would say 1,700 total yards.
That's a
I
good
think that's
season.
more than fair. Yeah. The whole title like Linderbaum as your center now, I think that's gonna pay huge dividends for y'all.
For sure.
So, yeah, and especially with the preseason game yesterday, the way the play design that Kubiak was using, even just some the little snippet that he gave us, that
Yeah,
gives a lot
vanilla.
of hope, man. That gives a
Yep,
lot of hope. So
yep. Kirk Cousins looked pretty good, man. I know I'm
yeah,
switching
didn't he?
topics, but it looked
Yeah.
pretty good, man. But then again, so did Jacoby Brissett, but our defense is so that make anybody look good.
I think that the defense will improve over time. I'm not worried about that. But as just if we move off of the top 6 here, if we go to the top 5, which were, just to remind y'all, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan Robinson. Is there any problem with the overall who's up there and where they are?
I got nothing.
Jesus. Like, how could okay, I'll say one thing was kinda crazy because 'cause I'm the, Niners fan, right? But McCaffrey, you can't really argue. He has to kinda be there. I understand that you're not gonna, like, take him out there, although I would if you were to, like, force me to make my top 10 list. He had one of those years where he had 400 plus touches, and we seen what happens. It happened we had this conversation with Barkley last year, and it came to fruition.
Yep.
Um, it's actually happened every single time a running back has had that many touches, and he's already hurt and not practicing
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the preseason. We've seen that before too, and what has happened? It's just tightness. Well, we saw that in what was it, 2024, and he
Yep.
was out for 10 weeks. So
yeah,
um,
that
I
hurt.
would say if he's healthy and playing, he's going to be productive because he's that good. We all know that, though, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I would, I'm giving some of these younger guys who didn't have as many touches last year with in offenses, and I'm not the 49ers offense is obviously good, but right now it's totally decimated with injuries, and that could persist into the year.
Yeah.
Even with production, I'm still gonna bring him out of the top 5, but I
Who
won't
would you replace him with?
bring him out of the top 10. Well, if you like forced me, I would go obviously Bijan, Jamar, JT, like those 3 are solidified in there. And I'd
Mhm.
probably put James Cook and Chase Brown in the top 5 for next year. So I
Wow.
would take out CMC and Barkley.
I'm not mad
Okay.
at it.
Just
Okay.
the old guys. Of course, they're gonna be. I mean, they're amazing, right? In
Yeah.
like talent wise, they're absolutely incredible. But we all know that. I'm just looking forward to next year, and
Yeah.
that would be my top 5. I'd take CMC and Barkley out,
Gotcha.
but it's not like I'm moving them far.
No. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So just I think before we move off of this, the 2 significant things on this list is the oldest running backs on this list is Derrick Henry, of course, at 32. McCaffrey now, he's 30, and Saquon Barkley, who's 29. So I think we're about to see the changing of the guard, I think, of,
Yeah.
the running back, hierarchy and stuff like that. I mean, we're already seeing it with Jahmyr Gibbs and
Yes.
Bijan Robinson, but I think that next tier or the next up and coming group here, um,
Gloves.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, Jeremiah
Nice,
Love,
nice, nice nice transition, bro.
yeah, yeah. So, um, there's some hope here. There's some hope with this next group of running backs. Now, as far as the money goes, I don't see that benchmark being passed up anytime soon. I was just looking to see who's up next. Like we mentioned Chase Brown. I think he's going to be coming up on a contract. I'll be very interested to see what he gets. And then you have Zach Charbonnet, Hassan. I was going to mention Hassan Haskins. And then other than that, there's really nobody else. I mean, DeAndre Swift. I mean, but he's 27 right now, so he's not gonna crack 20 million a year. That's not gonna happen. So I think that's gonna stand for a minute. So there won't be any other running backs breaking the market for at least until Jeremiah Love is eligible or Genty. Those between
Yeah.
once those two become eligible, then we might see it again. But at least right now, I think we're standing pat where we're at.
Well, you
Yeah.
mentioned those guys, and I just want to give an honorable mention to. We couldn't include him even close to the top 10 because we haven't seen what he's done yet. But I think he will definitely be in the top 10 on this list next year. Is Omarion Hampton of the Chargers, and you
Oh
already
yeah,
mentioned Jeremiah Love of the Cardinals. I think those are the two guys we got to watch out for.
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
sure.
you're right. Yep,
Yeah.
I forgot about Hampton, man. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt like he did last year. But yeah, interesting list, guys, and good conversation. So I will say, just to sprinkle in a little bit of fantasy here, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, and I haven't heard y'all two's opinion on this specifically. But in our league, I made a trade involving running backs, and I would love to hear like what your opinion is about it. So I traded Devon Achane, and I got back Derrick Henry, Jonathan Brooks, Jaden Reed, and a second round pick. What do you guys think?
I think you just committed domestic violence on somebody.
Hey, Hater, why don't you give the audience a little background on what kind of league it is, all the goodness.
Okay, so it's our primary dynasty league, right? It's a 10 person league. It's PPR single quarterback, and our starting lineup is basically you start nine, with any combination of up to three running backs, four wide receivers, or two tight ends if you want. And so, as we may mentioned before, was the runner up for the second year in a row for the championship. And so I feel like this is the last year of my championship window. So I'm not happy with what the Dolphins are doing. And even though Devon Achane did get his money, he did get paid, but I'm very, very, very concerned about how they're going to use him for one, and the fact that there is no wide receiver of consequence on that team, and the quarterback is not that great.
There you go.
I don't I don't know. So,
We
um,
don't know that.
what? Malik Willis?
Mhm. Yeah, that's my boy.
Okay, sure. Okay, great. But, but what we do know is the head coach is not an offensive genius like Mike McDaniel was. He's gone. They brought in a defensive guy. So, he might want to run the ball with him, but at the same time, he's also, small, and the offensive line is not that great. So yeah, you call me a little bit, you call me a scaredy cat if you want to, but I just feel like if I can parlay him and turn him into other usable assets, and normally I'm not a fan of actually, bringing in guys who are older. So the fact that, I accepted the trade that included basically the oldest starting running back in the league is kind of surprising, but I figured I'd offset that with the the upside, or at least the perceived upside, of Jonathan Brooks. And if that goes wrong, then I have my second round pick to use for next year on the running back.
I like that trade, man. I think you got the better end of it,
Yeah.
especially the second round pick. You say you got a second round, right?
Yep. Yep. Is
Oh,
is my second round
Yeah,
pick, so I got that back.
yeah. And Derrick Henry to kind of help you. I would think this would probably be his last good year. Well,
Yeah.
who knows, right? I mean,
you
I don't
have
want
to
to say. I
assume
don't want
that,
to say
right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is
Yeah.
older, but dude, he's Derrick freaking Henry.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you're good for at least 12 or 14 touchdowns,
That's the hope. As long as, the Ravens doesn't slip up that much. Of course, their offensive line is a little bit questionable, of course.
especially
But I
with
think
Lindenbaum not there.
right. But the thing that people forget though is Jesse Minter, their head coach. he was on that staff with John Harbaugh, like, I wanna say it was, like, 4 years ago. He was on that squad, so he knows about that Ravens culture, so it's not exactly left the building once John Harbaugh left, so, uh, you know, and it's the AFC North, so you know they're gonna run the rock over there, so
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think, Tony? It takes. I think he got the better end of it.
I don't know. I think it's close. It's certainly a big deal. I don't know why you think it's your last opportunity to win though. Your team is fairly young and talent. Like you got a lot of talent everywhere. Don't you also have Lamar and Zay? So you're relying a
Oh,
lot on the Ravens.
oh, no, 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 I don't have them anymore. I
Wait,
Yeah, I traded Lamar, like, 2 years ago,
oh,
that's how I
well, who
got
the hell has
Puka
Lamar
and
now?
Josh does.
Mm, Josh. Okay, all right. You still
Yeah,
have Zay?
nope, I
Oh,
traded him
damn.
to yeah, I traded him to Larry.
Holy.
Yeah, I Zay Flowers was a part of the deal that got me Matthew Stafford last year.
Oh, all right. So I do see. All right, all right. I get it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right. I mean, it's fine.
yeah.
Would I rather like I don't Jonathan Brooks has played 7 snaps in the NFL.
I
Everybody
Yep.
he's hyped this offseason. I don't give a what anybody says. Chuba Hubbard is still a better running back than him because he hasn't done. He's tore his ACL every time he gets on the field, and all of a sudden we're supposed to like him in a offense who's gonna how many points are they gonna score? Like that's like a nothing to me. It's basically almost like it's fine, but you're getting younger and less like explosive, if you will. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
understand
high
it.
risk. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the other 3 assets are supposed is basically to counterbalance the risk that I'm taking on with Jonathan Brooks. That's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, I get it. And look, if he works out, then obviously you're like going to be super happy because then you just throw Jonathan Brooks in your starting lineup, and you're like, boom! I just got my top, another running back two that can start for me for the next 3 years.
Yep.
So I get it, and I understand what you're doing, and you're going for it, which is good. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yep.
Work for
Okay.
Joey.
Yep. Oh, yeah, don't remind me. Yeah. I will forever hate Taysom Hill from now until eternity. So, um, but yeah,
All right.
but before I start crying on this pod, let's move on.
All right. Do you have anything else for the NFL, or do you want to move to UFC?
Um, I think the only thing I will point out because I have to being the only Detroit Lion representative, Terrion Arnold, who is who still have court cases by the way because he wanted to be a mob boss. He signed a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks today.
I saw
So
that.
yeah, now question is, now we also saw some suspensions come down with some other people that had some off-field arrests this offseason. So his 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 penance will come forward. So my guess is Seattle is using this as a potential playoff push type boost for them going to the latter half of the season because they have to factor in here. He's looking at least an 8-game suspension. You have to, given the fact what he just did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, I just get
That-
past the pre. Do you want to talk about any preseason games that just recently?
I want to talk about real quick these rookie receiver hype and non-hype or the injury too, right?
oh yes,
We had a whole bunch of first round receivers.
yes,
Jordan Tyson looks like he's not
yeah,
even going to be ready for the start of the season, the first round pick at for the Saints. You
yep,
have Mekhi Lemon, first round
yep,
pick for by the way, I think Jordan Tyson was like top 12 pick or something. He's like 11th pick overall. Mekhi Lemon, the first round pick for the Eagles, hasn't even practiced. I don't even care
yeah,
if he's healthy for the season. You don't just come in as a rookie and start week one. So, you know,
yeah.
uh, what's his face? Devontae Wicks
Oh
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
Packers who they signed the offseason. Dude,
yeah. Dontavian
talk
Wicks,
about a
yes,
sleeper. Yeah,
yeah,
Dontavian Wicks. Talk about a sleeper right there. And then you got
yep,
no buzz from Carnell Tate, the number 4 pick in the draft,
Yeah.
right? But
yeah,
then all of a
Yep.
sudden you got like all this buzz coming out from Denzel Boston and Cleveland, both of the Cleveland guys. You got
yes,
super buzz from Cyrus Allen in Kansas City, you know, and
Oh my
so
god, that
it's just
dude.
kind of interesting how these top guys, they're all injured, not even, and then you have these like a lot of buzz coming from these sleeper type guys. Oh, Jacoby Lane in Baltimore is like crazy buzz. Like that's more than
What?
buzz. Yeah. Like
Wait a
yeah.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
Dude,
minute, 49er guy. Don't forget about
what?
DeJohn's dribbling.
Oh, well, hey, I know. But
Yeah, they
hey,
were yeah.
he only caught 6 passes in a quarter last night, you know? Like, yeah. Yeah, you're pretty much it's really, really interesting to see what happens going up to the season. I'm telling you right now, Mekhi Lemon and Tyson ain't doing to start the season, so their
No.
value's plummeting.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, even if they perform at the end of the year, and they probably will, because I still love both of them and both their talents.
Yes.
It's just setting up for a really interesting start to the year with the receivers because it's kind of the only position really. So it's really really cool situation and really interested in it, and I can't wait to see what happens. We're probably going to get some and training camp preseason just started yesterday, so we're going to get a lot more of it. Oh yeah.
Yes. It's gonna be, the propaganda, from different organizations because they always put out a lot of tape on these guys, especially when if, they they do things that are worthy of it. But the part that we always forget is more times than not, they were doing this work against dudes that's going to be at your local Home Depot in another 2 weeks. So you got take it for the
Dang.
grain of salt.
Dang.
It's facts though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even yesterday, like we had a defensive end, like now he did do work against the first team offense for the Bengals, but let's not forget that he's not going to be starting ahead of Aiden Hutchinson or something. Like let's pump the brakes, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well said.
yes. Oh, and we haven't even gotten to of course being the fact that we're the 2-0 show, right? The Cowboys haven't played yet, so we already know the propaganda machine. Oh, it's about to be revving up tomorrow. We already know that as we
Yeah.
record on a Friday
Do
night.
they play the Browns? Because I'm super interested in watching the Browns preseason game. I know it sounds crazy, but
Oh, yes, you're right. No, they don't play. They do not play the Cowboys, but the Bears actually play the Browns.
ooh,
So
okay.
yeah, the Bears play the Browns, and
Oh,
Deshaun Watson is getting the first. He's getting the first crack at it. So
another big wide receiver injury. Luther Burden
yes,
is gonna be injured for all preseason. So
Crazy.
yep,
week one's in question already. Like, dude,
yeah,
crazy with all these young receivers, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and my former offensive coordinator, he's coming out here. He wants to have he wants to break the record for most points scored in the season. So I'm like, okay,
Good luck.
yeah,
Yeah. Good
We
luck.
doesn't every offensive coordinator and head coach. Right?
yeah, but he's the only one that's actually putting it out on watch like that.
You
And
big dummy.
what? Yeah, and let's not forget, Caleb Williams is on the cover of Madden this year too. So,
With his
Oh,
fingernails
don't do
painted.
that. Don't do that, hater.
and what?
You
But,
know I need that dude.
I'm sorry, but history does. Okay, I won't say nothing else. I'm sorry, I won't say nothing else. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I would avoid that cover like the plague, but okay. Yeah,
Well,
I would say I would say so far with the recent games that we saw was like the Texans, was it Raiders,
yeah,
Cardinals,
yeah.
who else am I missing?
I think we
Um,
should maybe like a little bit of love for Drew Aller. I know hater, not a big
yeah,
fan, but dude, he looked
no,
good, man.
He actually did.
I'll give him his credit. I'll give him
I
his credit
liked it.
after
I
I like
always
him.
liked him.
I know you did, which is as a fellow Big Ten person, I can't believe you have as much
I,
esteem for him. It's just
I
yeah, I just thought he
hey,
was
look,
trash can juice from the very beginning. Sorry.
I also love Josh Rosen. You remember him? So
Oh, oh, okay.
Oh, geez,
I
that's a
wouldn't have
I
brought
thing
know.
for the
I
past.
know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So
I
don't
wouldn't have brought that
take
up.
it.
That's okay.
Hey,
Uh,
I'm honest and humble, but I did like the guy. He looked really good. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's pretty cool. I think
yeah.
a Will Howard, Drew LR like battle because hopefully this is Rogers' last year. I don't know. Kind of some sparks in Pittsburgh, which is good for the NFL, even though I don't really love them. So, you know.
Yeah, I'd have
Yeah.
to agree.
Well,
Okay, well,
oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying we're coming up on an hour, so
Ooh,
uh, anything else on the NFL before I get to this UFC stuff?
nope. Go right ahead,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so we have a really interesting card, UFC 330, that takes place tomorrow. Some of the fights are Islam Makhachev versus Machado Gary. I'll break down that main event in just a second. We also have Mackenzie Dern. Is doing her championship fight with Gillian Robinson. That's gonna be an interesting one. And then the undercard has some interesting prospects on there, like Barboza is on there. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a full card all the way through. So
That's a lot
but
of fights tomorrow. Jeez.
it is. So you got Dern, obviously, Gillian Robinson, that's a co-main event, right? But so the undercard, let me just tell the audience who's on that one. You got Edison Barboza versus Esteban Robovics. That's gonna be a really good fight. I think that might be the potential fight of the night right there. Those guys
Okay.
like to throw hands. Those are the ones that I really looking forward to watching fight. But so as far as the overall card, like the breakdown of it, this is my take, and I want to see what y'all think. But I from what I'm seeing out there in the Twitterverse, some people are thinking that Islam is just basically going to take him down in Machado Gary. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I think you might want to try to punch him in the face a few times. But the thing about Ian Machado Gary is that he's 6'3". He's a natural welterweight with length and movement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at basically their tail of the tape. That's a tremendous
Yeah.
advantage. Man, he has a 4.5-inch reach advantage, dude.
Yep. Yeah. And Islam has never faced anybody his his size. And the dude is very technical when it comes to striking, and also he knows enough grappling, man, to make things interesting. So I I think this is gonna be a good one because this fight is definitely not gonna be done in the first round, in my opinion. Shout out to Islam because he's entering in at 28-1. And right now I think he has a 16, was it 16, 15, 16 fight UFC winning streak. Might want to check me on that, but I'm pretty sure he does. So if he wins his next one, that puts him past Anderson Silva. Now think about that for a second. Anderson Silva's famous 16 fight streak. If he wins one, that's more than Anderson Silva.
Oh my god.
Nuts.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And remember, Islam isn't the lightweight champion anymore. He gave that up.
Yeah, you are
So
correct. He is on win 16 right now. He has won 16 in a
yeah,
row.
that's
That's
insane.
crazy.
Across
Yeah.
across multiple weight divisions. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
So he's touching on legacy territory right here for sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
But Gary, his record, he's 17-1. He only has one loss to Shavkat Rachmanov. I'm butchering their names. I apologize. But yeah, but Gary is 5 inches taller, and he does have a roughly 4 inch reach advantage. That matters, dude. That
Yeah.
matters. Okay, so how does Islam win? What do y'all think? I think this, and you can disagree with me, or say some others, but I think his game plan is going to be straight pressure. I think he's going to get Gary to move backward. I think he's going to take the space. I think he's going to get him against the cage and maul him a little bit. I think he's going to test his cardio early with some wrestling, some wrestling attacks. And the thing about Islam is that he's really, really good at double leg takedowns. Like
Mm,
you might stop him at first, but you ain't gonna stop the second attempt.
right.
He's a really good transitioner. He can do single leg, body locks, trips, back takes, all that stuff. So if you spend like 2 minutes defending wrestling, you know how gassed you can get. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So what do you think about that for Islam? You think that's the
I
keys for
think
him
he
to
had.
win?
I think he has to do it because, Gary's like only doesn't he always just go to decision or like not always, but don't you want to see? You don't want to go the distance with the guy, right? You want to just pressure
Oh,
him and make
yeah.
him fight instead of just yeah. So I don't know if it's because his defense is so good or what, but I would certainly want to press him, like you said, right?
well, looking at right now, just looking at his last 7 fights have all gone to decision, and, and,
Exactly.
yeah, and the last 2 or not the last 2, but 2 of his last 3 have been 5-minute round fights or 5-round fights. So, and I think that speaks a lot to his cardio if he's able to do that.
Sure.
So I wonder.
Sure, but do you wanna do that? Like, I don't like, do
Right,
you wa
that's the
Yeah.
question. So if you're Islam, do you really want to try to do you really wanna use that as a tactic? Because clearly he's demonstrated that he can hang, you know what I mean? So it might work to your detriment, especially if, that you like you said, if that
exactly.
takedown attempt doesn't work, or at least that second one, if you might not get to a third, you know? So
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting, dude.
Yeah.
You got me hyped up for this now.
All right. Well, so here's how I think Gary wins, and you could poke holes in this, and let me know what you think too. So here's the thing, right?
By being a
Gary,
pussy.
yeah, we don't want to see that, or
No.
a crotch sniffer. I don't want to see no
Yep.
grappling the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
But so Gary, what he can't do is he can't let this become a phone booth fight. He just can't.
Right.
He needs to take advantage of his space, use his jab, use his kicks, make Islam reset every time he tries to think about shooting. Yeah, which means it's a takedown, folks, not guns, not pew pew.
Yeah.
And then I would like Anderson Silva was a master at this. Like, make people pay every time they close the distance on you. Like, if you're kind of stepping back and catching with that shot that they're not seeing,
Yep.
I think it can do that with his reach. And if Islam has to shoot for takedowns from further away, I think that lends towards Gary having more time to defend them and see them better.
Yes.
Again, I'm just, going off what I see. But here's the deal. If Gary stuffs a couple of Islam's takedowns early, dude, I would say
Right.
things get interesting at that point, because it's like when Francis Ngannou realized how to have actual takedown defense. You saw what happened
Mhm.
with that, you
Mhm.
know?
Yep.
So, and then the thing is, if he does get taken down, don't forget he does have some jujitsu experience, and he just needs to get up immediately if he gets to the ground. Like, spend every time trying to get up, because you
Yeah.
do not want Islam to control the fight from the ground. That's
Right.
my take on how Gary can win. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. I think that's it's pretty obvious, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't. I just think Islam should press him and make him fight. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I
Yep.
just think I just don't think you. I would. My mindset was be no decision. Like, it's not going the distance.
Yeah.
But
I think it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the only way you could do that though, like it well, one, if he gets him down, make sure you punish him. That's for one.
Yes.
If he allows you to get inside, then I will punish his body a lot. Like, he's got a
Yes,
big
yeah.
frame, he has a long frame, you know, make him pay the price for that, right? So, and at the same time too, like, if he's like you said, if he tries to, if he tries to go for the takedown from a further distance, and the first thing that comes to my head, okay, that's a knee strike to the head, you know. But if for whatever reason, if he misses it, or you try to anticipate it and use that as your advantage to try to get into a submission opportunity, then that'll work. I think that'll work too. So I, man,
This is just a size thing because Islam's still a plus 270. So Vegas is saying it should be fine. Is a size thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Raider probably knows better than me, but I mean, he still should have the edge. He has size over everybody probably, but he doesn't finish
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
So
So let's
I
do
don't
this.
know.
Let's make a pick. Let's make a pick between these two guys. Who do you got winning?
Islam.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at his previous fights. He's got some ones that went the distance too. Dustin Poirier, he's oh, I thought he was taller than that. Okay. I think this is gonna be an interesting challenge, but given the fact he's got a record that he can go after, uh, I'm gonna give it to him. I want history, so I'm gonna take Islam on this.
Okay. Yeah. My pick is I'm going with Islam Makhachev because, and here's how I think I'm leaning towards Islam winning by a decision or a late submission. I think he's going to gas Gary out. I think in the fourth round, maybe in the beginning of the fifth, he's just gonna. I think Gary's size and movement makes the first couple rounds fascinating, because he does have really good movement and obviously really good size. And there might be even times in this fight where people are like, "Hold on, Islam might actually have a problem here." But over 25 minutes, nah, bro, I
Right.
trust Islam's ability to adjust. And
Yeah.
I think eventually, like I said earlier, he gets scared to the fence. He starts chaining takedowns together and begins accumulating control time, and then eventually chokes him out. So that's my pick too. So it sounds like the 210 show is a consensus here. We are picking Islam Makhachev to retain the welterweight championship.
Yes.
But I will say this: Ian Machado Gary, he is a legit fighter, and he's not thing to be slept on. That's for sure. Don't write this guy off. All right. So let me move to one other co-main event: Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. This is for the UFC Strawweight Championship, and it is again the co-main event. So this is a really good matchup because these two are legitimate submission threats. These two young ladies, like Dern's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu credentials, like everybody knows about her. They speak for themselves. But Robertson is really comfortable with grappling too. Like nothing really phases her. So why is this interesting? Well, a lot of opponents of Mackenzie Dern's that say whatever happens, don't go down to the ground with her. So that's how she's kind of like lost some of her fights. They do not go to the ground with her. But Robinson will she'll probably actually willing to grapple with her. So that's gonna take that out. So it's gonna come down to the striking. Who's the cleaner striker? And it's gonna be an interesting fight. So I won't make my pick yet. I'll see what do you guys think about that?
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I'm excited, I guess, because you're excited about it, Raider. I don't know a lot about these fighters though, so I
It's
don't.
gonna be a good one.
I'm just gonna watch it. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. If
Um,
you like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling, this is gonna be the match for you.
hey, well, first of all, I know, like, I mean, Mackenzie Dern is very, like, she's really popular anyway. But first of all, this surprised. This whole time I thought she was American. I didn't know she was Brazilian.
Well,
But
no, she is. She's American, but she spent most of her life in Brazil.
oh, okay, okay, okay. But I haven't seen Jillian Robertson fight, so I'm not familiar with, like, what her tendencies are. But I mean, I know Mackenzie, she's very strong. So it's like, hey, pick your poison, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanna try to do strike if you wanna strike her down, okay, you can try. But if you make a mistake, she'll end the night really quickly. So
Yeah.
good luck to her. I mean, for me, I'm not down the champ here. So I'm calling for Mackenzie Dern to win the fight. And I
Yeah, it
think,
looks like she's a pretty big favorite.
yeah, I figure it's just this. I think two rounds minimum. I think.
Jules, are you saying though that I should put a couple of bucks on Robertson? You think she can do
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
I think she has a really, really good shot. I mean, I think it's gonna be extremely competitive more than what people are actually giving her credit for. But
All right.
I am still leaning Mackenzie. I think she'll still win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Robertson, makes this
Well, hey,
extremely
look, that's how
competitive.
you make money, right? We get a big underdog here who has a chance, and
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true.
So the last fight I want to talk about, and this one is the one that I'm like super excited to see over the main event and the co-event, is the sleeper fight between Edson Barboza and Esteban Ribovics. If y'all ever get a chance to, for our audience, go watch some YouTube clips of these guys. These guys are absolutely ridiculous. They're savages. So this one is a definite potential fight of the night, in my opinion, and you don't want to miss this one because everybody knows what Edson Barboza is like kind of famous for: leg kicks, body kicks, spinning attacks, explosive counters. Like this fool knocks somebody out with a spinning elbow. He's one of the most dangerous kickers the UFC's ever seen, in my opinion. But
Oh boy. Okay.
my boy Rebo, though, man, he brings that pressure. And, pressure can break some people. And historically, the pressure that he's been using is he's beat a lot of his opponents for. And pressure has actually made Barboza uncomfortable in some of his fights.
Mm.
So make sure you have your drink ready, your snacks, and your chips because of this thing could be over early in the first round, or it could go to the third or fourth, but it's not going to 5 rounds. I'll tell you that right now. But I
Okay. So
got
it is a 5 round fight.
or 3 round. I'm sorry, 3 rounds. I
Okay.
I I got this thing finishing in the second round, and I got Barboza winning by a knockout.
Hmm. Well, I am not familiar with. I'll definitely be doing some watching some YouTubes of these two. Looks like Esteban has lost two of his last three. Oh, well, one by decision and one by submission. So
Yeah.
looks like, and Barbosa, let's see, what he's got going on here. Oh, he's lost his last 3. Okay, so they do. Okay, maybe we
Yeah,
can.
they fought savages though, dude. Both of those guys have
Yeah.
fought some savages. Like,
Okay.
So it's
like
gonna be
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 So both of
yeah,
them looking
because
for a
they're on
win.
the cusp of getting cut. So they
Yeah.
better perform.
Well, they're on the main
Okay.
card, right? So,
Yep,
oh, it looks like
hmm.
you think Barboza's gonna win this fight?
I do. What's the
Oh
odds?
man, dude, Rabovics or whatever is like a heavy favorite.
Wow. Put some money on
Yeah,
that one. Put some money
I'm
on
gonna
that.
do it. I'm gonna do it.
At least like
All
$10. Might win
right,
100.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So, oh, his last fight was December of 25. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna lean on your expertise there, Mr. Raider. I'll take Barboza here. He should be the more desperate fighter, given the fact of what his last 3 fights have been. So I want to say the desperation wins the day here, and I'm going to go with SM Barbosa here.
Just don't bet your mortgage payment on it, okay?
No, absolutely not.
Hey,
No,
that's good
no,
advice.
no. Hey, I'll put all the Monopoly money down. You won't. I
There
got
you
all that.
go. There you go. But that's it, gentlemen. So basically, that 3:30 card, I think it's going to be an interesting one. And it's worth the watch. So that's all I have for UFC.
All right, cool, man. You got me excited. Actually, I'm gonna play some bets.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, so now that we're at the hour mark, you guys want to transition to Kiss My Grits and Alamo Minute, or do you have any go backs?
Oh, I'm
I
good.
I have nothing, sir. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So for our regular listeners, they already know what Alamo Minute Kiss My Grits segment is about. But for those that are new, they're listening for the first time, a Kiss My Grits is something there if you want to call down to the carpet that's asinine, that doesn't make any sense, or that's annoying, or whatever. You can put the spotlight on it at that moment. Alamo Minute is a shout out, something positive. It could be a business, place, maybe you spent some time with your old lady and watched a movie, whatever it is. That's the time to do a shout out right there. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Hater of Facts. Do you have a Alamo Minute or Kiss My Grits or both?
I have both today. And
Here we go.
the Alamo Minute is going to be a little bit short, only because its substances should be obvious to everybody at this point. But shout out to Marvel Studios and Spider-Man. The Spider-Man movie just came out. I mean, excellent, excellent, excellent movie.
No spoilers.
No,
Yes,
I'm
it
not spoiling
was.
nothing.
It
I'm
was
not
really
spoiling
good.
anything. If you haven't gone to see it, you need to go and see it. And if
Yep.
you already seen it, go back one
Go
more
back
time and watch it in theater, man. It's great, absolutely great. I think it sets up very well for Doomsday later in the year. I'm on the record here. I'm willing to say right now, I am willing to put Tom Holland, his his portrayal of Spider-Man is equal to Heath Ledger's portrayal of Joker. That's where I am with him at this point.
I would
He's he's
agree.
he's the GOAT. He's GOAT Spider-Man from this point forward.
No,
Uh,
you can never say that.
uh,
Nobody's portrayal of any character ever will be that good. But I
You
haven't seen
should
the movie
see,
yet. But
bro. You should see his acting in this movie. It's
uh, uh,
really good.
well, okay. You know what? You know what Tony would take? I'll put it like this here. Whoever comes after him has very, very big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
How about that? Is that fair?
okay, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
There we go.
kiss my grits for this week.
From sugar to
Yeah, well, yeah, we went from sugar to shit. I had a lot. Again, there were a lot of nominees, but and I had one ready to go, and I completely pivoted when I saw this. So, Deshaun Watson, we're gonna need you to come down to the front of the congregation, sir.
Oh,
Um, we got some just egregious work coming from you. As we all know, Deshaun Watson is currently has the most lucrative contract ever in NFL history because he received a $230 million fully guaranteed contract from the Cleveland Browns. And since then, he has accumulated a total of 19 games played since he's had that uniform on. 19. He has played no more than 7 games in any given year since he's been with the Cleveland Browns.
Mm, mm.
He is, you know, everybody knows he's going to start the season because of the money he's getting paid, but Shedeur Sanders is nipping at his heels, which to me says a lot of where his current state is. Now, you're probably asking, well, Hater, why in the world should he get a Kiss My Grits? Well, it's because after last Saturday's practice, he actually had the nerve to fix his lips, to formulate in his mind, to come out of his mouth that he is open to contract extension conversations with the Cleveland Browns
Oh
after
my
this
God.
season.
Oh, hell no.
Oh my God.
Have you lost your ever loving mind, brother?
I know
The
I
you're
answer is
mean,
lying.
yes.
I, I, I mean, how can you even formulate that kind of statement, sir? That's just utterly ridiculous. And please, and just to remind everybody, when Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles, for the season, it was actually a home game, and they cheered. They actually cheered of your injury, my guy. And you got the nerve to say you willing to come back? You, boy, you something else. That's all I got to say. And the thing about it is too, he might be on to something because his cap hit for his dead cap for the next 3 years is, well, for 26 is $127 million.
Damn.
Yeah. In 27 is $86 million, and in 28 is $51 million. That's his dead cap. So what that means is if the Browns decide to cut him, that's how much money will be put against their books, and they can't use it anywhere else. So he might be on to something. You know what I mean? Like he might be the Cleveland Browns might be handcuffed to actually extend him even further to further push this dead cap further down the road. I mean, they might need to pull the Denver Broncos, the way they did Russell Wilson, and just eat that huge dead cap hit and just keep it pushing. But at least right now, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting, but you might need to rip the Band-Aid off. But knowing Jimmy Haslam and the way he actually runs things, who knows, right? But
Yeah.
all that being said, though, Deshaun Watson, stay away from massage. Uh, make sure that you're reading your defenses, and you can kiss our grits.
Yep. Well said.
Get
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Tony would text, you got Kiss My Grit, Alamo Minute, or both?
All right, look, I know I got a little bit of Alamo Minute. I know it's a chain restaurant, but there's only one in San Antonio. But I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's Carrabba's, like Italian. It's like an Italian place, but it's way
Yeah.
better than like Olive Garden, right? Well, they do this like wine dinner every month, and I went to it for the first time with my wife last month, and it was an amazing experience and like just way beyond my expectations. They give you a whole 4-course meal. You get like an appetizer, like a mid entree, a main entree, and then a dessert. And they give you a different wine with all of it. But the wine flows freely. So like definitely Uber there if you're gonna do this. But it was a just amazing, a pleasant experience. Like the whole restaurant was doing it. It was really cool. So I would say if you're looking for a date night, it's give it a shot.
I like it. Yeah. My
Okay.
old lady and I are gonna go do that too.
Yeah.
We got one right over
It's
here.
awesome, Jules.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's real cool. Well, I don't have a Alamo Minute or a Kiss My Grits, but I do have a postponed Kiss My Grits, and it will be for the next pod. But yeah, and it's gonna be a good one. So stay tuned for that. But speaking of being tuned, hey, real fast, can you tell these folks how they can watch us and get a hold of us?
Absolutely. If you want to catch us in podcast form, we're available on Apple, Spotify, and Overcast at D210 Show. If you want to hit us up or check us out on YouTube, we're at D210 Show Pod. And please feel free to leave a comment. We appreciate any feedback that we can get. We're approaching a year of existence. Okay. And we would love to hear from y'all what you liked about us, what you want us to improve on as we move into another year. And we want to do better. So we're always constantly improving. So please let us know. Also, we have a link to Discord as well at that same spot. So please hit us up there. And if you want to hit us up in the old fashioned email way, you can hit us up at j@d210show.com or hater H8R with FAQS at d210show.com.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, fellas. Good pod. Audience, we love y'all. Take care of each other. And God bless.
Peace.